Hello and welcome to another 3D tutorial from Between CAD classes. This time I am in Autodesk Fusion 360 and I'm going to model the part that you see here. If you would like to try this along with me, you can find a link to the detailed drawing in the description for this video. Let's take a look at the workflow that I'm going to follow as I create this part. I am going to begin with the initial base extrusion here with the curved shape. Next, I'm going to add the rectangular extrusion underneath the part. Then I will add the angled extrusion on top of the part. Then finally, I will create the hole through the part. As I prepare to create the first extrusion, let's take a look at the detailed drawing to get our dimensions. I'm going to be looking at the bottom view of the part, and I can see that the center of the arc is going to be 86 millimeters from the left side of the part, and that arc shape is going to have a radius of 64, which will give us a width of 128 for the part. I can also see in the front view that this feature will be extruded 12 millimeters. So let's jump into Autodesk Fusion 360. If you don't already have a new part, you can simply go to File and New Design. This part is in millimeters. I often work in inches, so I need to take a look at my document settings here. I'm going to click the arrow next to it in my browser, and I can see that it's currently set to inches, so I will click to edit that, and I will change this to millimeters, and click OK. Next, I'm going to sketch on the flat horizontal surface here. I will begin by drawing a line from the origin point straight to the right. I'm not going to worry too much about the distance right now. Then I want to draw an arc. So I could switch to the arc command, or I can click and drag straight to the right from that endpoint, and that will create a tangent arc for me. So I'll just simply let it go when I'm above the original point, draw back to the left and back down to create my closed shape. Then I'm going to add in some dimensions. So I will dimension the arc to have a radius of 64. Then I will dimension one of my horizontal lines to have a length of 86. I'll confirm that everything is black and fully constrained. If not, I might need to add a tangent constraint or something like that. It's looking pretty good, so I'll go ahead and finish my sketch. Select my home button so I can see this in 3D, and then extrude. Of course, since there's only one shape, it picks it automatically. I will go ahead and enter in a distance of 12 here for this first extrusion. Next, I'm ready to create the extrusion on the bottom of the part. So looking at our detailed drawing, we can see that this feature is 16 millimeters wide and runs the full width of the part. We can do a little bit of calculation and see the full depth of 18 here minus the 12 that we just extruded is going to give us a depth of 6 millimeters for this feature. So back in Fusion 360, I'm going to sketch on the bottom of my part here. And then I am just simply going to create a rectangle that starts at that origin point and snaps to the other end of the part. Then I will come back with a dimension between these two vertical lines on my screen and give it a dimension of 16 millimeters. I can see it's fully constrained now, so I'll go ahead and finish and extrude. I'll select the shape here, and again, we want this to come out 6 millimeters. So I'll enter that value and press enter. And now we have the extruded feature on the bottom. Next, we'll tackle the angled feature. So looking at the detailed drawing again, we can see that this angled feature is a 30-degree angle. And I can take a look at the auxiliary view and see the location of the center point is 68.5 away from the edge, and it's going to have a radius of 50. So back in Fusion 360, I am going to need to construct an angle plane here to sketch on. I'm going to click on my construct drop-down, and the second option here, plane at angle, is the one that makes the most sense here. I'll select this option, and then I need to pick a line or an edge to act as my rotation axis. So I will pick the edge running across here. Then I can adjust the angle. So I will put in a 30-degree angle. And I can see that it did rotate the way that I wanted. Sometimes, if it rotates the wrong way, you can use a negative value instead. But, as we can see, positive 30 is what I want in this situation, so I'll go ahead and click OK. And now I'm ready to sketch on this new plane. So I'll create my 2D sketch, select that plane. I'm going to use this edge right down here at the bottom. So I'm going to click the Create drop-down, and then Project or Include and Project, and then I will project that edge. Then click OK. Now I can go ahead and draw in the rest of my shape. So I'll draw a line straight up. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about the distance. As I did on my first shape, I'm then going to click and drag on that endpoint to create a tangent arc, then back down to the original shape here. Next, I'll add some dimensions. So I will dimension this shape here with a radius of 50. And then I'll dimension from that projected edge to the center point, 68.5. Then I just need to center this shape. So you might remember the original radius of this shape was 64. So I'm going to dimension from the center of this arc to one of the two sides, 64. Now I can see my fully constrained sketch. I can go ahead and click Finish. I'll rotate my screen here and I'm ready to extrude this shape. Next I'm going to extrude this shape. As you can see, if I drag it to the left, it adds material. As I drag down, it's trying to cut material out. So I'm going to change my operation to Join. You can also see that as I go into the part, it's adding extra material down here that I don't want. So instead of extent type being distance, I'm going to choose To Object. Then I have to select the face that I want to extrude to, which is just going to be the top of this extrusion. Now I can click OK, and you can see that that extrusion fully terminated at that top surface. Finally, I'm ready to add in the hole. So taking one last look at our detailed drawing, we have a diameter of 76 and it's cutting completely through the part. So back in Fusion, I could of course draw a circle and extrude it, but I'm going to use the hole command. I'm going to select the top plane here. Then I am going to select an additional reference by selecting the button here and then clicking the arc. That will give me a concentric circle. Next, I'm going to adjust the extents. Instead of a specific distance, it's going to go through all. Then I will adjust its diameter to 76. Then click OK. And now we can see the hole cutting through there. So we'll give our part one final spin here. And there we can see the completed part. I hope you found this Autodesk Fusion 360 tutorial helpful. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see some more. And as always, thank you so much for watching.